The Fall of Verridia, a Gothic Vampire Tale. What if your city, once a beacon of light, was swallowed whole by an ancient darkness? Prepare to descend into Verridia, a city consumed by shadows and ruled by the undead. Verridia was once a vibrant city, a jewel shimmering with life and laughter. Its markets bustled, its streets echoed with music, and its people thrived under the warm embrace of the sun. Now, an eerie silence has fallen. Perpetual twilight casts long, menacing shadows that dance and writhe like living nightmares. The air hangs heavy, thick with the cloying scent of decay and the metallic tang of blood. Laughter is a forgotten memory. Commerce has ceased. Verridia is a ghost of its former self, a chilling testament to the power of darkness. It began with whispers, hushed rumors of missing persons, and strange, unsettling events. People vanished without a trace, leaving behind only unanswered questions and growing unease. The disappearances became more frequent, more brazen. Families were torn apart, and the city held its breath, gripped by a fear it couldn't name. Victims were simply gone, swallowed by the night, never to be seen again. The city council, blinded by arrogance, or perhaps something more sinister, dismissed the rumors as mere hysteria. They denied the growing panic, assuring the populace that everything was under control. They were wrong. From the depths of forgotten crypts and ancient forests they came, an ancient vampire coven, drawn to Verridia like moths to a flickering flame. Their arrival marked the beginning of the city's true nightmare. Led by the ruthless and charismatic Lord Draxon, the coven was a force of unimaginable power and cruelty. Draxon, with eyes like chips of ice, and a smile that promised eternal damnation, was the architect of Verridia's downfall. Their thirst was insatiable, a hunger that could never be quenched. They craved not just blood, but power, dominion, and the utter subjugation of all who stood before them. Lord Draxon's conquest was not a brute force invasion, but a meticulously planned and cunningly executed seduction. He understood the weaknesses of humanity, the allure of power, and the seductive nature of fear. He wielded his hypnotic gaze and seductive charm like weapons, ensnaring the city's elite, the very pillars of Verridia's society. They were drawn to him, mesmerized by his dark allure, unaware of the monstrous fate that awaited them. One by one, he turned them into his loyal vampire servants, puppets dancing to his macabre tune. They became his eyes and ears, his instruments of terror, paving the way for his complete and utter domination. The Turned were once respected citizens, leaders, and protectors of Verridia. Now, they were something else entirely, twisted parodies of their former selves, devoid of humanity and consumed by an unholy hunger. They had lost everything that made them human, their compassion, their empathy, their very souls. They were now extensions of Draxon's will, instruments of his dark design. They became the vanguard of the vampire army, spreading fear and terror throughout the city. Their presence was a constant reminder of the horror that had befallen Verridia, a chilling testament to the power of the undead. Verridia's formidable defenses, once a source of pride and security, crumbled before the onslaught of the vampire coven. The city's walls, once impenetrable, became mere obstacles to be overcome. The Knights of Verridia, the city's valiant protectors, were rendered useless against the supernatural speed and strength of the vampires. Their swords and shields were no match for the creatures of the night. Outmatched and overwhelmed, the knights were forced to retreat, their courage and skill proving insufficient against the relentless tide of darkness. Their retreat signaled the beginning of the end for Verridia. The city walls, once a symbol of protection, became a prison, trapping the remaining humans within the clutches of the undead. Hope dwindled with each passing night, replaced by a gnawing sense of despair. The humans were confined within the city, their movements restricted, their lives hanging by a thread. They were prey, hunted by creatures that were once their neighbors, their friends, their loved ones. Verridia had become a hunting ground, a macabre playground for the vampires. The remaining humans were nothing more than cattle, waiting to be slaughtered. The streets, once bustling with life and activity, were now deserted, haunted by the ghosts of what they once were. An eerie silence hung in the air, broken only by the occasional screech of a bat or the distant howl of a wolf. An occasional glimpse of shadowy figures flitting through the darkness was all that remained of the city's former vibrancy. These were the vampires, the masters of Verridia, patrolling their domain. They moved with unnatural speed and grace, their eyes glowing with an unholy light. They were the embodiment of fear, the harbingers of death, the rulers of the night. The vibrant shops and markets, once overflowing with goods and laughter, were now boarded up and abandoned. Shattered windows stared blankly into the night, like empty sockets in a skull. The interiors of the buildings were ransacked, looted, and defiled. Furniture was overturned, paintings were slashed, and the remnants of a once thriving civilization lay scattered like broken toys. The city was a wasteland, a testament to the destructive power of the vampires. They had not only conquered Verridia, but they had also desecrated it, leaving it a hollow shell of its former self. The remaining humans huddled in fear, their faces pale and gaunt, their eyes wide with terror. They knew their fate was sealed, that there was no escape from the clutches of the undead. They whispered prayers to a god who seemed to have abandoned them, clinging to the faintest glimmer of hope in the face of overwhelming despair. But their prayers went unanswered. Their hope remained unfulfilled. Verridia stands as a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface of the world, a testament to the power of the undead and the fragility of human existence. It is a warning, a cautionary tale of what can happen when evil is allowed to take root. Verridia is a monument to despair, a city forever lost to the shadows. Now, tell us in the comments, what would you do to survive in Verridia? Would you fight, hide, or succumb to the darkness? Like this video if you enjoyed this descent into Gothic horror, subscribe for more chilling tales, and share this story with your fellow horror enthusiasts. Your support helps us bring more nightmares to life.